might be this juicy and delicious prime rib roast from Rastelli Meats Delivered. This is your choice of either a 4 or a 6 pound reserve Black Angus prime rib. I mean, look at that. If that doesn't make you hungry, your eyes are closed. I mean, this comes with garlic herb butter. We're going to teach you how to roast it, and it's easy, easy peasy. Now, is it a little more money than you're used to spending at holiday time for a center of table protein? Sure. But is it going to be a beautiful, traditional piece? Absolutely. Are your family members going to be raving about it for months and months to come? You better believe it. This is something incredible. And since midnight last night, we've already taken orders for 9,200 in this show alone. Over 300 already gone, and you can cook it to whatever doneness you like. We've got it to a nice medium rare here, but you can certainly, if you choose to, want to do it differently. This is Ray Rastelli, our own personal butcher, who has, is it, how many years experience?
48, David.
48, I was going to say 47. 48 years experience. Sir, it's good to have you back, and so good to have this back. I tell you what, last night I had a dinner party. You were kind enough to send a sample to me. So I wasn't sure how I wanted to prepare it. And then I was hit with a brainstorm. Cut it into steaks, David.
Yes, you can.
Because these are ribeyes, right? Because the prime rib roast, as a roast, is a prime rib roast. When you cut it into steaks, they're ribeye steaks.
That's exactly right.
So then I cooked them on the grill, and everyone at the dinner party raved about them. Raved about them. And they were like, are you going to present this tomorrow? I said, uh-huh. They were like, yes, we'll watch, and B, you're going to eat really well tomorrow.
Well, you know what, David? When you start, you said a great word is tradition, because around the holidays, this is the tradition at the Rastelli family. We've got this prime rib on our Thanksgiving table, on our Christmas table, on our Easter table, and on our Mother's Day table. So we use it an awful lot. And the reason we like using it is because it comes out perfect every time. And David, I'm going to be able to show you how in 3 very simple steps that take about 30 seconds, you can have your prime rib that looks just like that.
Now, right before you do that, I'm going to have to taste it. So if you can cut a little piece there off the end, I am just going to have at it. This is lovely. Now, is this a little bit of the au jus?
That's the au jus that you can, and
that will happen naturally when you.
That'll happen naturally, and I'll show you exactly how that works. So we've taken.
Let me get a little light. It was as good as last night. Let's do a happy dance and just bust out. You're going to see me do a lot of these during the presentation. This is remarkable stuff. Everybody is looking for that traditional name. Or it should be in this. 10-7, 11-11, 12-9. Those are the 3 ship weeks. Let me repeat them. 10-7, 11-11, and 12-9. We also have an auto delivery, and all these ship with free shipping and handling. You can get your first delivery for holiday 24, one of the dates I just told you. Then you'll get it in April of 25 in time for Easter. And then November of 25 in time for Thanksgiving. This is remarkable. Now, in addition to the 4 or the 6 pound prime rib roast, you're also going to receive garlic herb butter. 1 tub if you order the 4 pound, 2 tubs if you order the 6 pound, and both versions get a packet of the Rastelli signature seasoning.
They do. And David, I'm going to show in a minute exactly why I give all that to you, because here's what you're going to need to make this perfect prime rib. You're going to need an oven. And then you're just going to need a knife to do what I'm doing right here. That's it. It's that easy. And this 6 pounder that I'm slicing here, David, we're going to get anywhere from 10 to 12 beautiful slices.
And let's be very clear, you also need an internal meat thermometer.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Now, we have one available for purchase. Yes. If you want to pick one up or you have one already in your kitchen, then utilize it. Because we're going to ask Mr. Rastelli about carryover cooking, because that happens when you let meat rest after you take it out of the oven. This is simple, it's easy, and how many servings can we get in the 4 pound?
Well, in the 4 pounder, you're going to get 6 to 8, easily 6 really big servings. In the 6 pounder, you're going to get anywhere from 10 to 12 servings out of that.
And there's a little piece that fell off.
There's that piece, and you know, David, I know you like the deckle, and here's a piece of that deckle.
The meat candy.
That's the meat candy right there, and of course the seasoning's coming with it. But I want you to notice that it's trimmed from end to end. Right?
Good.
It just melts in your mouth. And you're going to be able to slice just like I am, because it's boneless. We've taken all the fat off it, and you're going to get a number of slices to be able to just really put on that carving board for your guest when it comes time. And then I'm going to show you how to make this very, very simple au jus from the drippings. And that's all this is, and it's easy.
It's flavor.
Right? Yes.
It's flavor like you have never experienced before. You want to cut these up and grill them like steaks like I did last night? Great. You want to put it into the oven and roast it. Mr. Rastelli is going to teach you how. It could not be easier. If you've never done a prime rib before, I understand that you're a little nervous because you don't want to mess it up. This could not be easier. Now, one thing Mr. Rastelli loves to do is go to the butcher board. So let's go there first, and then take it away.
It's so important, right? It's really about where we start. We start on the farm, right? Think about it. We got ranchers and farmers that for the past 48 years I've created a relationship with because they know I get nothing but the very, very best. Beautiful, clean pastures, clean water, natural feed, and people that I trust. And that's what's so important when I can talk to my farmers and my ranchers and making sure we're getting the very, very best Black Angus cattle. This happens to be the very, very best of Black Angus. It's called the Reserve Collection.
Only 4%?
That's right, David. Only 4% of our cattle qualify for this. And here's the reason why. Because of the marbling and because of the aging process. So this is an entire prime rib of beef, right? It's got the fat cover on it. It's got the bone on the bottom. And this is how we age it. So we're going to age this for 45 days. And the aging process is natural. It takes the enzymes and the proteins, it breaks them down, and it makes it more tender. That's why when you go to a great steakhouse, it always says age to perfection. You're not going to find it anywhere else. But then here's what we do, David. Our butchers take all the outside fat off. We take it off the bone completely. And this is what you get. You get this beautiful 6-pound, completely boneless ribeye. I want you to see from one end to the other you are going to eat, because this ribeye has been trimmed completely. It's been aged for 45 days. And when we do this, we have got something really, really special. And I'm going to show you how to take this and turn it into the most exquisite, elite piece of meat that you're going to put on the centerpiece of your dining room table.
What you want to have is that fat marbleization, because as it renders down, all that flavor just bathes the meat in some of the most delicious, delicious flavor you ever had in your mouth.
It does. It melts right down. That's why the ribeye steak is my favorite. And you cut this last night, David, into steaks, to great steaks. Well, as we roast it, it's a prime rib roast. And that's, again, that's what really creates the flavor. So I'm going to show you how simple this is.
Well, first thing we want to do is thaw it out for how long?
It's going to take about 2 days in your refrigerator. Now, they come vacuum packaged, so you just take that vacuum package, put it right in your refrigerator. So
what I did with mine is I put it in the crisper.
There you go.
For 2 days.
Yep.
All right.
Step one, thaw. So we've got one thawed here, and this is completely thawed. You see it's been completely trimmed from end to end. Step two is really, really simple. I like to take a knife, and I just put a few score marks in top because I'd like some of that butter to actually melt through.
And sir, let me back you up a little bit. You put this in a roasting pan with a rack.
That's right.
So it's elevated.
That's right.
And then you score it.
Then I score it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my seasoning and my butter. So it's easier to put the butter on first. You just take that butter.
Because then the seasoning just sticks to it.
So remember, this is garlic, real garlic herb butter. Now, for the 6-pounder here, you're getting 2 tubs. You will not need 2 tubs. So you can use that second tub for whether it's your garlic bread, whether you want to put it over some mash.
Now, with my steaks last night, I let it thaw, and then I put it out on the dinner table with a serving spoon in each tub. And I told my guests, smear some of this on your hot steak.
Yes, and so
they did.
And I used 1 tub here. You're going to get actually 2, so you're going to have a lot of extra butter. Then all I do, David, is take your seasoning package. You're getting that seasoning pack. Go ahead and just generously put that seasoning right on top, right? That's part of the prep. Now, that's how simple it is. Now, while I was doing this, my oven is heating at 300 degrees, but
300.
300. So here's my tip. Remember, that butter is going to melt down, so I like to take about a cup of water and drop it in there, and I like to take about a cup of Cabernet wine, a good wine that you like drinking, because if you like drinking it, it's going to give you that flavor inside.
And here's why you put liquid in the bottom, because when that butter starts to melt in that oven, if it hits a hot pan, it's going to smoke. But if it hits water, it blends.
It does.
And then it creates that au jus that you will then pour over top of the roast.
Exactly. And again, that's how simple step 2 was. Step 1 was thaw. Step 2, add the butter and the seasoning, and of course, that wine and water as a little tip. Now, my oven's heated at 350, so all I'm going to do is take this, and I'm going to go into that oven.
And how long do you cook it? Depends on how well you like it done. And there's a guide inside for the 4-pound and the 6-pound, and you'll know. But there is something when you take a roast out of the oven, there is a resting period, or what's called carryover cooking. Now, here's one that's in our oven that's right now currently at 139 degrees.
That is perfect.
Perfect.
I shoot for 140 degrees, and then once I've reached 40 degrees, I'm going to pull it out of the oven, and that's where that carryover cooking starts, David. Right, for about 10 more minutes, going to cook another 5, 6, 7 degrees. So 140 is perfect for that medium, and of course, with the recipe card I'm giving you, it tells you exactly how long. To give you an idea, the 6-pounder is going to take about 3 hours. The 4-pounder is going to take about 2 hours.
And we have this thermometer available for purchase. Now, you don't have to use this one if you don't want to. If you already have a thermometer at home, use it.
Yep.
If you want to pick one up at the store, that's your prerogative as well. But everyone should have an internal meat thermometer. That way, there is no guesswork.
That's right.
And we only have 900 of the thermometers remaining. Now, everything is done to perfection. Now, this one rested in the oven,
This
yes?
one's rested in the oven. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to put it on the board, but I want to show you what that butter and that wine and that water made. David, it's kind of what I love to call liquid gold. And you can see it just, I'm going to pour this into my bowl.
Oh my heavens.
That's au jus, that's all natural, that came from that butter, that red wine that is actually melted.
You'll either put that in a gravy boat and you'll dip the meat in it when you cut it, or you'll pour it over top of the roast.
Exactly.
After you have cut slices for everyone at the dinner table. This is so easy, it's so traditional, it's so delicious and so wonderful. And remember, this is heavily marbled, and you want it to be, because then that way it renders down during the cooking process. Now, Mr. Rastelli will cut into this, and we just did an internal meat temperature check, and it was right at 139, 140 degrees. That means it's going to be a nice medium rare. Look at that. Juicy, tender, and oh, so flavorful. Look at that layer of fat in there. That's a layer of flavor.
That's what I call the flavor pocket, David. You need that because that's what gives you all that moisture. It tends to melt as you're cooking it, but that's what makes each one of these prime ribs absolutely perfect, because we've taken all of the guesswork out of it for you. And when you get a prime rib that juices like this, that's something really, really special. And of course, what I like is the top of this, if you can hear it,
it's crispy.
nice and crispy because of that butter that we had on top there.
And you've got a little meat candy for me here on the side.
There's a little meat candy, because I know
And when I
you
call meat
love
candy,
that.
I mean it's just an end piece that has some of the bark on it, some of the seasoning on it. Oh, so good. Oh, I love this. This is one of my oh, hello. How you doing? One of my favorites. We're going to come back after we get a shot of you cutting into that prime rib. Gorgeous.
I'm cutting nice thin slices because I'll make a French dip, David. Look at how beautiful that is.
This is what I wait for every year. This is so extraordinary. And I need to let you know, we have already 1,500 ordered in this hour. 10,000 for the day. That's the big number I was going to tease you with first.
My goodness.
So 10,000 gone for the day, 1,500 in this show. Now, you got a little horseradish cream?
A little bit of horseradish cream. I made it sliced a piece, very, very thin. And I mean, you don't get better than that, whether it's over a bed of salad, whether it is like we did here with the French dip. I used, again, that horseradish sauce, but it is perfect as a steak. You can slice it thin like I did there to make a French dip. But again, what I love about it is it's easy, right? If a butcher can do this and get this kind of steak each and every time, look at how beautiful that is. Look at how gorgeous that is.
Gorgeous.
That's what makes it my job fun, because my guests come back into the butcher shop after us doing this and they say, it was not only delicious and did my guests love it, but it was easy.
Now, a lot of people were watching Ray show you how to prepare it, and now you're thinking, I'm not going to remember that. I need to know, does that video live somewhere else? It does. It lives on QVC.com.
It does.
So you can go to QVC.com. There's a face you recognize. And there's Ray Rastelli himself walking you through the process step by step. You need to back it up, stop it, roll it back, watch it again. You can. It's free. It costs you nothing. The video is absolutely free. It's there for your convenience as you're looking to cook this, because you want to do it correctly, right?
That's right.
This is why it's so very important. Now, Rachel, did you want some prime rib, darling?
Yes, please.
I'm going to hold my fork out of your reach.
I would
this is
love
when
to
I
try
dirty it up.
some. And then I would, is this my fork?
It can be, that was clean.
Amazing. And then I also have a few questions from the chat if you're open to them.
Now, we saved you a little bit of the decal, which is the super,
meat candy?
super
That's that meat candy.
tender, and the edge, which is the meat candy.
Oh my gosh. Oh, is this good? Oh, Oh, is this good?
Now, Rachel received a sample too, but Rachel lives alone, and she was like, I'm going to have to invite people over in order to eat this.
I'm so excited I get to plan a